Hello, in this video I'm going to be looking at the LEGO Ninjago set for 2022 called Kai's Fire Dragon EVO. I bought this for $30 US. This set includes a total of 3 minifigures plus 1 small side build, but first we're going to look at the main build, the main thing that you're paying for, which is, of course, a red dragon. They went with orange as the accent color, the alternate color for it, including the lower jaw and kind of the underbelly and the legs there. Level of detail here, I think, is appropriate for the target audience of this one, but I have a problem with the wings. Now, this does use the EVO system, so as you go along, you start off building just the base body of the dragon, and you start adding extra things on, such as the wings, which are in 2 sections, and more of the gold stuff, more of the decorative items that bulk it up as well. I think a lot of that is fine, except for the design of the wings and how they're put together. Now, fortunately, with these wings, you can change up how they're put together. I also kind of recommend taking the mount at the base and rotating it around 180 degrees so that the wings can be facing towards the rear, or you can kind of stagger them front to back. Take the first wing piece here, which is a dual molded part, looks really nice. Have that going back, and then have the next one angling forward. I think that the little bits of detail that they added on there were actually pretty good, and they will hold up decently well during play. You can see this uses a mostly pre-made head pair of pieces together, which is similar to what they did with the other EVO dragon, the other simple EVO dragon for this series, and it's just able to angle the head slightly side to side, and you can bring the jaw open and close and kind of bring it forward and back just a little bit. Got a saddle there, or a place for somebody to sit, which is also removable, and the legs have no articulation at their elbows or knees, but I think there's enough articulation here for play. Like, you can bring these legs back well enough to make it look like it's flying properly, where a dragon would probably have its legs hanging back behind, and you can put it into enough of an action pose. I think this is sufficient. The feet don't look great, but again, I think it's appropriate for the younger kids that they're going for. They didn't want to put a whole lot of detail into this and a whole lot of pieces. The tail is able to move around. Again, all the gold parts are intended to be like EVO add-ons, and of course you have the printed banner there as well. So a better look at that one with some dragon power up. Overall, I think that this is done pretty well. Sorry about getting in the way of the light there. And the colors aren't too bad, but it's not quite there for me. There are a number of things that are just weird. The shaping of the wing, the feet look weird. But I think it's fine as a toy. I'm curious what somebody actually in the target age range would think about it. This is also part of the EVO system here. So when you first build this, it doesn't have the center portion of the body added in at all. So I just wanted you to see what that looks like with the center section removed, where you have basically a shorter wheelbase, shorter bodied dragon, which is kind of cool. I might even like this look better personally, just because of the proportions. It brings everything together. And this is how it would look with the wings removed as well. It's kind of has a certain dog-like charm to it that works, although you do want something that's going to be able to fly. After all, the bad guys in this set both present as aerial units. One of them is going to be controlling this little quadcopter, which is a simple build, but it does have a weapon on it, just a stud shooter there, so that works. The other one has a full flight suit. This is one of the best flight suits that I've seen LEGO ever do, if not the best, because it makes so much sense. It's got the winglets there that are of a decent size, and yet I was able to get this thing to stand just fine because they are angleable, so you can bring them like this for flight, or you can bring them like this for maybe imagining hovering, because it has vertical takeoff and landing fans there to provide hovering force and stabilization. But it almost stands up like this. However, you can very easily just bring the wings down and have the figure standing straight up, and then it's not going to fall down with all that weight. And it also has forward propulsion, little jets or rockets underneath for when it's just flying straight. This makes so much sense. Doesn't use too many pieces. These are prints, of course, but it's just so dang good. Here's a better look at it up close in case you haven't seen the torso, hip, and leg prints of this one. But the figures are done the same. They just have 2 variations of this throughout this entire season, but they change up the accessories in pretty nice and useful ways. This one's a Cobra mechanic and just has the reversed color scheme for the torso and also the dual molding in the headpieces. And the accessory for this one is the remote control unit, which is just a basic radio, but with a reused print tile piece over the front of it. Last but not least, here's the latest version of Kai, fully suited up. He has a drumstick there because that will probably be fed to the dragon to either tame it or just to keep it fed, as a treat, or possibly to help it power up. He's got the color matched katana there for this season, and he has the 2 faces. Plus, thankfully, this is one of the sets that does also include a hairpiece right in it. So we can have both versions of them, which is good. That's dual molded as well. These are the leftovers, and there are no stickers used in this set. For the amount of stuff I'm looking at on the table here, $30 doesn't feel like too much, but when I mess around with it and I really look at it from a play perspective, I kind of wish it was a little less than that. 20 to 25 would feel a lot better. 20 is probably asking too little. Yeah, all together by today's standards, but I definitely would like to see this discounted a bit. It doesn't feel like a great deal to me. For folks interested in the EVO thing, how that works, how the transformation works, or the levels along the way, this shows you how you start out with the short version of the dragon with nothing added on, then you add the little bit of wings, and then you add the second set of wings and a little bit of gold stuff, and of course you upgrade your figures as you go along, as you build them. I think that system is working just fine, but what I like least about this is how the wings are done on the dragon. And the dragon is, of course, the main thing that you're paying for here, so I want that to be good. The rest of it is fine, again, for play, and the figures are good, so it's not that big of a deal. But it's just, I don't know, it's not the strongest set to me personally. I just don't have a strong positive feeling about it. It's not bad. There's nothing objectively bad, in my opinion, about this for a 6+ set and for kids in that age range to play with. It just doesn't draw me to it. This is my personal favorite thing in the set by far, and I think that says enough there, because there's a lot more that I should be able to be excited about. But that's one person's opinion. Let me know your opinion in the comments, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.